Hey guys, it's Luke here from the Tradie Marketing Agency, and today I wanted to talk about simplifying your decision making process when growing your trades business. Being a business owner, there's always like a million different things vying for your attention at any one given point in time. You got emails, you got clients, customers. I suppose clients and customers are the same thing. Workers, sorting out materials on site and all that kind of stuff, right? And if you get lost in the weeds of it, it can be very easy to fall into ineffectively whacking away at things and not really getting the traction you really want growing your business, right? What you need to do is zoom out and take a broader macro view of things. I want to introduce you to a couple of concepts which can help simplify how you run your business. The first one is to think of different levers. Broadly, there's kind of two main levers in your business. There's marketing or sales, and then there's order fulfillment. We're basically all in the business of buying labor wholesale and selling at retail. So you win a job and you complete it with the worker lever, right? But when you put on more workers, then you need to do more marketing to keep up with them. But then you do more marketing, and now you've got too many jobs that you can sort of actually get to. So then you need to put on more workers, right? So it's just this sort of like workers, marketing workers type of thing. And it'll always be in flux, particularly if you've got things like seasonal changes. It'll always be like, you do more marketing, and now you've got more work than you can get to. And then that's when it's like, okay, it's time to hire, it's time to put on more people to do it. And back and forth between those two. So simple enough, right? The next thing that obviously you will run into is the idea of bottlenecks. So what is a bottleneck? So a bottleneck is something in your business where it is like a speed limiter, right? So it's like your business can only produce at the speed of the bottleneck. Another way to think about this is like a chain. So they often say a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So you need to improve the weakest link to improve the strength of the chain overall. And primarily in a business, you are the bottleneck in your business. You are always the bottleneck in your business. So, for example, if you're on the tools and you're still doing the work yourself, you are the bottleneck because you can't work on things like the marketing because you're working. So, as you free yourself off the tools, it's like you've got more marketing to do. But then maybe the bottleneck is that you can't get to all your emails, you can't do all the quotes. So then that becomes the new bottleneck. So looking for where the bottleneck is in the business. For me, one of my bottlenecks is currently sales. I primarily do all the sales for the business. How do I get somebody else to do this? And that's a central question. How do I get somebody else to do the tasks that I'm currently doing? As soon as you can identify that and work out a system and steps in place and then put somebody in place for that, that frees up your own personal capacity to keep growing your business. So for example, with the sales thing, in my example, I'm putting a sales system in place with itemized pricing for all the different painting services and systemizing that in a simple way so that then I can then bring on somebody else to do the sales and quote jobs in a way that I know is going to be reliably profitable for the business. So they're the main concepts I want you to sit with, think about, ask yourself, where are you the bottleneck in your own business and what sort of systems you will need to move forwards? And then also just in terms of growing your business, thinking of those two broad levers of like more marketing, more workers, more marketing, more workers, and which one of those you're currently struggling with. So it'll either be you've got too many workers and not enough work, in which case you need to ramp up the marketing, or you've got too much marketing and you can't get around to all the jobs, so you need to focus on the worker column as well. That's it for today. If you guys would like any assistance with your own marketing, please head to the tradiemarketingagency.com.au.